Wes Anderson is an iconic, memorable director who has an imagination and creativity like no other. When he creates a film, it is apparent from the first few clips that it is a film that he has scripted and directed. His cinematic themes and styles are of many, including feelings of meaninglessness, rivalries between siblings, mothers and fathers being absent, mise-en-scene, odd families, slow pacing, slow motion shots, the combination of both comedy and darkness, a bright color palette of clothing, and a wide variety of actors who are persistent in many of his films. Some of these include Owen Wilson, who was a longtime friend, Bill Murray, and Jason Schwartzman. Although he has many different styles that he applies when writing and creating a film, the biggest cinematic style that he displays is one of symmetry. In almost all of the shots and scenes that are in his films, he has created immense symmetry with the people, the objects in the background, and even the positioning of the room or location where the scenes are shot. Also, his use of nostalgia is one that is apparent in almost every single one of his films. This occupies both the present and the past for what the actors are trying to convey. He says in an interview for the creation of the Royal Tenenbaums that the more things that are made, the more things that nobody else has done, meaning that the more creative and unique you are with the sets and costumes, the more unlikely that it is that there will be another film of the same sort. When Anderson creates a film, it is one that is a world of its own. They tend to be a mix of whimsicalness, melancholia, and quirky storylines. He also likes to include stories within stories, as seen in the Royal Tenenbaums and many other films, where the children in the movie create some kind of play within the film. This is where the children dress and act like adults, and the adults dress and, in a sense, act like children. Wes Anderson has no problem not cleaning up reality and making his films surreal to the viewers. When he writes his screenplays, he jots a few lines here and there, meets with a collaborator for about an hour, and then goes home and writes the rest of the screenplay. When he completes his storyline, he makes a storyboard in order to pan out what his plan is. Otherwise, he doesn't feel that the film will stay in order and he won't be able to produce the film that he's imagining. And although everything is planned, how everything will finally come together is always a surprise to Anderson. Wes Anderson has created films including The Royal Tenenbaums, Bottle Rocket, which was his first film starring Owen Wilson, which skyrocketed their careers, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Moonrise Kingdom, The Darjeeling Limited, and many others. People have a tendency to say that Wes Anderson films are simply Wes Anderson films. They are recognizable and not many other directors have the same type of cinematic style, so he is easily separated from the norm. Another apparent characteristic that is easily noticed in some of Wes Anderson films is that he obviously used to want to become an architect. And with that, he also incorporates art into every film he has ever made, whether it be on the walls on display or a child simply painting his life stories on the wall of his room. Art and architecture are some things that are extremely evident in Wes Anderson films, and these quickly become apparent to the viewer the instant they start watching one of his films. Wes Anderson is a brilliant director with a creative sound mind that is not easily imitated. I believe that he will forever be remembered as one of the best film directors of this era.